Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Cancer. If Cancer is your solar, lunar, ascendant / rising sign, then this is a message for you. Okay, let's get started. Let's take a look at what this bowl, what these tea leaves have to say. And so our card tonight is the Three of Cups, which has to do with abundance. This seems to mean quite often that you are full of love, you are growing, you are developing vast corridors of your interior life. Your inner world is expansive. Okay. So I want to look at this one. This is the first one that kind of sticks out to me. And we have a person that has a baseball bat. Looks like they're getting ready to hit. And from an angle, this one kind of looks like a heart, but it looks like it's kind of falling a little bit. And we have out here somebody who is ready to catch. Okay, so, in my mind, I feel that this has to do with you would think maybe battering a heart, but I don't think so. I think that this is kind of like being able to kind of vanish the hard, difficult, the things that kind of sully your happiness, your creativity, I suppose resentments and things like this. I think there has been a posture of really trying to clear your life of these things. Really kind of, I feel like you have spent a lot of time trying to rid yourself of outmoded aspects of your identity. You've let go of a lot of things. Okay, you've actively, done some real intense healing, cutting away at those things that do not serve you any longer. This last great cycle has been one of a lot of movement, a lot of big life changes. And I think in a lot of ways you've grown into your position of being kind of relatively an elder. Okay, and here we have an enthroned or seated person. Okay, and of course most people or beings in the archetypes that we see that are in a seated position like this, that are enthroned, they have gotten there because of knowledge, wisdom, the work that it takes to become initiated, to become an initiator, to have domain over your life. Okay, and although we all do have domain over our lives from a fairly young age, only do we really begin to know how to traverse it when we get to be a little bit older, a little bit wiser. Okay. So I think that you've really come into that kind of configuration in your life. And I think that you've, created a dynamic of maybe a small family, a small group of friends. You've kept your life in your circle fairly closed off and small. Now you may be out there working in the community. You may be an artist, a creative person. You have further reach. But your true identity and your true life, personal life is quite small. I think people would be surprised probably, how solitary or limited you are in that capacity. And that is what works for you. And that's not a bad thing. I think that this is where you kind of gain a lot of your power, is through keeping your life kind of focused on the things that you find important and worthwhile. You don't expend your energy where it won't be useful to your growth. Okay. And so we have kinds of these elements of love here. We have some hearts. I think that there is a lot of love. You have found a lot of self-confidence in your position among your family, among your career path, your creativity. You are somebody that people perceive to be quite wise, and I think that that's true. But I don't necessarily see you as somebody who you have indirect ways of kind of affecting your community, I think. And this makes sense as maybe an artist. Like, you put a lot of gnosis out there, but you don't necessarily like to directly connect to people. I think that, that's a beautiful thing, and I fully get that, being somebody that does a lot of this stuff on YouTube. A lot of my readings, I found a medium that really works for me, because I get to connect with you all, and it's in a way that feels comfortable for me because I have such social anxiety. And of course, this is TT over here eating, if you hear the crunching. But I think it's something similar for you, just kind of an indirect way of, I don't see you as like a big customer service person. I don't see you as somebody who's like highly involved in a social scene necessarily. And if you are, I think that you still keep up this kind of a bit of a separation from all of it, right? Kind of weave in and out of a lot of the greater socializing, the greater connections. You have a couple of people that you really connect with, and that's probably enough for you. Okay. No, you have to go now. I love you, but you're gonna scratch me up. Okay. Oh my goodness. Okay. I knew she was gonna jump right on my, try to crawl right up me. Okay, so let's see. Now we turn this and we have, it looks like a group of 3 people, one seated, one in front. They look like they are saying something. There's some kind of conversation going on, and a seated person who is kind of witnessing this whole this whole ordeal here. And so I feel like we have a sense of kind of, I feel like you are really working through maybe some, no, not you now. Go on, Pudgy. Oh my goodness, one after another. And you know, the funny thing is, I just I actually got done, or I started my readings late because I sat and petted TT for 45 minutes. She was just laying on me and I was cuddling her, and I said, okay, now I gotta work. They don't understand. Okay, so I feel like there is kind of almost like I think of this as being kind of like a salon, maybe, and not a hair salon, but a salon where you know, ideas are kind of shared. Maybe works of art are presented. Ideas are kind of you know, there's a lot, maybe some debate, lively debate. And so I feel that you're in this place of kind of working out some deeper concepts for yourself. I feel that, you know, with all this love and, wow, the continued success that you have been finding, and really just getting your life into the configuration that really works for you, there's a lot of room to kind of mull over some of these deeper concepts that arise in your quiet moments. And I kind of see this as a conversation you are having with yourself, just kind of you know, digging through the philosophies and your positioning on different things, always finding new things to read and to research. And I feel like, you know, this is one of your true callings and passions. You are an ever student, and this is what makes you truly happy. So if you're not finding the time to kind of, you know, allow yourself these kinds of mental exercises, I think that it's important to find that space for yourself. You know, nothing, I think, makes a Cancer more, you know, just restless than not having something to learn, or, you know, some interest to be pursuing, you know, studying something. And there can be kind of a sense of not knowing what to do with yourself when things start to feel stagnant. So maybe a good time to get out there and figure out, what is the next book you're going to read? What is the next topic you're going to study, research? You know, what will be your next big hobby? Okay. Now I'm also seeing somebody who is, it looks like, sitting here, and I almost think this is like me holding the cat that I'm looking. No, it's somebody sitting here and they are holding some kind of bird, it looks like. It kind of reminds me of a pigeon or a dove, if you can see that right here. And so I feel that in this restful state that, you know, maybe this little place of rest that you might find, this little pocket, that maybe this abundant energy will allot you. You are finding, you know, some real deep inner peace. Okay. I feel like this is a time to really be brave. Do the things that you want to do. Stop questioning yourself. You know, you've gotten yourself this far, and you will continue to progress. I think holding on to things that are just kind of good enough, they fit but not perfectly, There is room for lament and devastation there. Kind of the stirrings of soul wreckage. It could be, or maybe you just continue on and things are just kind of okay. But I think that you're at a place of peace and releasing some of that stuff, goes along with this person who's hitting them. Where did they go? Who's hitting, yeah, same one actually, same formation. So that makes sense. Letting go of that stuff, right? The resentments, the mismatched parts where things just don't quite right fit. There's no reason to continue on in the short life that we have doing things that, they're not, they make your life troubled in just a little way, just enough to feel like you have a splinter in your foot. You're just walking around with it. So, we also have, let's see, we have this beautiful little flower. We have this person kind of going towards it. And so I really do think that, things are growing and progressing beautifully. There's always going to be a little bit of turmoil emotionally for a Cancer, I think. No matter how perfect things are, there'll always be that one little thing. But I think that's what's beautiful about the watery folks, is that they, are ever shifting and ever in this kind of, if you think of like a stone in the water, over time, the water is working it apart, refining it, changing the shape. And that is not unlike a water person, a Cancer person. So, let's see. We kind of have a scary little clown face here. I'm not really scared of clowns. I understand why people could be. But I guess in general, I kind of like scary stuff. Uncanny, I guess. Do you all remember when everybody was seeing clowns some years ago? That was such a bizarre, I love when the universe gives us collective absurdity like that. I don't know if you remember that. What do you think that was about? Was that some kind of thing in the collective psyche just kind of bubbling up? Or I don't know. I don't know what that was. I was like, is this some kind of ARG or kind of a viral marketing thing? Or I don't know. But it was pretty strange. Collective hysteria, I suppose. So we also have, and this looks like an E, and it looks like an O. I don't know. What is that? Maybe just an E and an O. This one looks like, I don't know, like a B maybe. EOB. I don't know what that is. I can't think of EOB, what that might be. But loosely, at least the E for sure. And the O. Might be a name. Might be some kind of important word. Something that is... something that's important. If you can think of what it is and want to share, let me know. And also we have the V here, right there. And we've had a lot of E's and V's. Also, yes, I remember when I first turned this. So we have a 2, okay? And then we also have another 2 right here. This one. So I want to see, where did it go? Okay, there it is. Yeah, just a 2 and a 2. Also a horse running right here. Kind of looks like a dog too, but I think a horse. So I think, you know, again, I really think that this, because it's in the physical realm, I almost feel like this is about intentional movement, getting your heart rate up, moving to the level that you are able, of course. But I think, you know, getting your blood moving, doing some intentional movement, walking, jogging, running, whatever you like to do is going to be important. Be careful if you are in the northern hemisphere and it's hot, you know, do it indoors. Be silly like me. During the winter when it's super cold, I will walk in place to get my steps if I have to, or walk the whole house, go to one of the empty malls and walk one of those. But, you know, be careful about where you're at. It's been so hot. I feel like I've just been, well, today is this third day in a row, I think, that it's been really, really, like, just intensely humid and hot. And it affects me emotionally a lot. I feel like just super drained. Everybody's grumpy. You know, it just, you know, I just want to like cry. Well, I literally did cry before I started my reading. I had to have a good cry because I just feel, you know, the weather and how everybody is so grumpy today, just made me like lose it a little bit privately. So it felt good though. It was a good cry. All right, so let's see. We have again another little face right here, and this one looks a little happier. That's not a creepy clown face. Which, by the way, I don't know what that would mean, honestly. I think just really that kind of strange feeling. But maybe literally there's going to be some kind of thing with a clown. Maybe you're going to go see like a clown movie. I don't know if any are out, but there's always like some kind of scary movie with a clown, you know. But I think, or maybe an energy. Maybe you grew up in a house where they had all those... do you remember those, they were like little clown dolls. They had like the porcelain faces and the little silk outfits. I used to think those were so cool, but I remember I had a friend and their parents, their mom had like literally probably like 200 of them in the living room. And I remember thinking like, wow, this is different. Kind of cool. You know, a little strange, but definitely really, you know, I don't know. I haven't seen anything like it since. I've seen people that collect dolls. But yeah, the clown thing doesn't seem as big anymore. Maybe it is, and I'm not on the clown scene or the clown collecting scene, but yeah, I remember those things. They had like a very powerful aura. Really, I should go look them up online, see how much they go for. Maybe we'll have to get one. All right, let's see. So we have the face that looks a little happier. Okay, I really think you're just in a nice zone. I think that it's hard for you not to vacillate into these moments of, you know, a little bit of melancholy or kind of just feeling almost uncomfortable in your happiness. Like something should be happening or you should be doing something else, or, you know, but I think that with that image we had of the person holding the dove, I feel like you're really going to embrace, you know, that kind of, that peace and let go of those things that need to be let go of. Okay. And you know what I'm talking about. Also we have a person here who's kind of looking up, and we have a heart that, kind of in the way that, and let me just kind of blur this out so I can see. I want to move it up this way. So it's a person kind of standing, and let me show you from my angle how I'm looking at it. And it looks like the heart is a little bit fractured. But I also think it's kind of coming together as well. And I feel like this is kind of a perpetual state for a lot of Cancers, is this almost all the way together, not quite. There's always that kind of like hairline fracture, right? And not quite fully, you know, I don't know. It's not that it's there's a lot of commitment and love there, but there's just that thing. It's hard to push through that last wall, right? And so I feel like, you know, you've really, again, in this greater cycle, spent a lot of time trying to figure that stuff out. You know, how to be somebody who is able to really connect on the deepest levels and find yourself unified with your beloved. And maybe, you know, somebody who is maybe another manifested being, another human being. But that doesn't have to be the case. It could be that this is kind of more interior work, for sure. So I'm going to go ahead and we're going to pick a card from the Water Blessings Affirmation card deck. I really like these decks I have. Now, these ones are the water ones. Last week we did the air ones. And so next week we're going to do, I think, the earth ones. So that will be cool. All right, I'm going to just... Okay, and what do we have here? We have, it looks like a person who is kind of in a waterfall in a fetal position. Okay, and it says, rebirth, enliven. You are destined to initiate divine celebrations for healing joy. Yeah. I feel like this is exactly what we've been talking about. This greater cycle you've been in, you know, really working to not only heal, but find a way to push through deeper and allow yourself to find those moments of complete connection, joy, bliss, contentment, feeling safety, finding some way to be a little bit vulnerable, and so on. And that's hard work, especially for somebody who wears their, you know, what's it called? Their shield, their armor on the outside. But you're doing a good job, definitely. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and say thank you for spending this time with me. It is always such a pleasure, such an honor to bring these messages to you. If you would be so kind as to like the video, it is very helpful for the channel to get into the algorithm. If you have not subscribed, please think about doing that. You can hit the little bell. It'll let you know when the next videos are coming out. And other than that, if you want to leave a comment, please do. I read every single one of them and I reply back to all of them. So it might take me a day or two to get back to your comment, but I will. So come back and look. If you don't get the notification, I promise you at least in 2 days it will be there. Yeah, so anyways, I hope you have a wonderful few days until our next Cancer. You can watch your other placements in the meantime if you miss me. And we will talk again very soon.